Good morning, everyone. Happy to slay and welcome to the Rise and Slay Morning Show. My name is Rochelle, Slay Queen Hemingway, CEO and founder of Slay to Success. I advise and empower women professionals to step up into their most authentic personal brand to gain and attract lucrative opportunities. And we are focusing in on 4 different areas. That's right. We are looking at our appearance, behaviors, communication skills, and digital presence. So this morning, as your professional keynote speaker, certified image consultant, personal brand expert, author of several books, and a proud United States Air Force veteran, I am here to get us started in the week. So today is To Slay in My World, and welcome to Slay Nation. Hopefully everyone is doing well. This show is designed to talk a little bit about personal branding and why you should use it as a tool to get whatever you deserve and you desire. So, as we continue on in this conversation, please let me know where you're streaming in from, that you are here. We always start with the SLAY philosophy. It is the word, okay, that stands for all the things that we do in this space. And that is to kill it, to dominate it, and to nail it, to be on point, to impress greatly, to dream big and work hard until you own it. It is also an acronym that stands for Universal Life and Leadership Philosophies that really resonate with me the most. And I hope that it resonates with you as well. And that is stay ready to be ready, lead out loud, a sense of community, and knowing you are built to last. So come on in, y'all. Thank you so much for being here live with me this morning because you decided, hey, I wanted to spend a little time here, and we're just going to talk through our conversation this morning. So I always bring us something that gives us a little bit of thought about what we're doing and how we're doing, and kind of welcome you into the world for which I live in. Okay, so I also have a Slay to Success talk show every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time where I bring in a guest, either a man or a woman, someone who is living life on their own terms. And we just talk through how, their leadership, wellness, mindset, personal branding, and maybe a little business acumen really helps them to move along in this life that we are living. Now, life is hard, okay, and there's going to be challenges all the time. So how do we move forward in these challenges, and as well as doing it to the best of our ability, even on the days where we don't feel like it? All right. So here I share with you a little bit about me and my fitness journey. So every morning I work out. Today I was doing a lot of strength training. I really focused about 60 minutes on just training my larger muscles. So a lot of squatting, lunges, push presses, ab work. And through that, I was getting a little bit discouraged because some of the weight that I wanted to lift, I just wasn't able to really get it done the way that I thought, but it was the way it should have went. And I decided to listen to my body, listen to, how I am thinking in my mind, because sometimes we have disempowering thoughts. Well, in here now, I am ready to help you out along your way. So today we're going to talk about 3 questions every personal brand must answer. Now, the reason why I am in this space is because I understand that personal branding is one of the tools that helped me to be very successful in the United States Air Force. The last 5 to 7 years of my career, I started to really see that all of the training and the development and, ins and outs of military service, there were times where I had lost myself, my identity, because you get caught up in, what the institution stands for. And, it is designed for you to go to war. And there was a lot of, emulating other people and maybe not having your own words or your own thoughts or your own opinions because it was safe just to go with the flow. Well, the last, again, like 5 to 7 years of my career, I decided, that's not what it's going to look like for me anymore. I'm just going to be my authentic self. I'm going to make sure that the narrative in which is out there is in alignment with what I want it to be. And I am going to create a way for me to get to the finish line. And the finish line for me was 30 years. And also inspire and motivate other people to do the same if that was their dream or their goal. So, I know that when we have a personal brand, all right, that others can kind of see what you stand for, what your values are, how do you connect with them. The same person that you see here on the live is the same person that you see in person. I can guarantee you that. All right. I took on this whole persona, if you will, my affectionately nicknamed Slay Queen, because I love to get dressed up and I also love to push the boundaries. I love to challenge myself. I am out and about. As you know, I represent the color pink. I've got a lot of things in my closet right now that are just totally pinked out. And that is the way that I want to convey my message in this next chapter of life. So let's talk about the 3 questions every personal brand must answer. Now, I have my notes down here so that way, again, I'm going to stay on track. I'm not trying to go all over the place because, we can do that, especially if we have a lot of expertise and a lot of knowledge about what we're speaking to. But I just want to make sure that we're talking about how these questions, all right, can help us to make sure we're on the right wavelength. So let's just first start out with personal branding because I get this a lot, y'all. I get questions on what really is personal branding? Well, it is the intentional act. It's intentional. Everything that I'm doing is very intentional. So, personal branding is the intentional act of defining, expressing, and elevating who you are. You are not holding back. You're not dimming your light. You're not asking for other people's permission. Okay, that's what personal branding is starting out. Hey, good morning, madam. How you doing? It is in the season. This is springtime. And I know that it's going to be a great day today. I got on one of your favorite colors, Queen and Madame, and that is yellow. So I have the yellow and pink combination going on. I'll tilt my screen down just a little bit so you can see. But good morning and thank you so much for being here live. Good morning, Ernestine, my family. Good morning. Happy Tuesday, and thank you so much for being here this morning. I hope you're having a great morning so far. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. It's actually a dress. All right, so this is something I can wear out and about. I'm going to go out and do some errands today. I got a few other Zoom calls later today, but I'm not going to change. I'm just going to go where I need to go and come back in and then go back out again. So I got dressed for the day. Good morning, Queen. Happy Easter to you too. And if I haven't shared that with everybody, happy Easter to you all. Hopefully you had a great weekend and all the blessings to you. So thank you so much for being here. So what I was sharing was personal branding is the intentional act of defining, expressing, and elevating who you are so you can attract the right opportunities, not just any old opportunities, because there are opportunities out here, y'all. Okay. I have had some great opportunities, and then I've had some that were presented to me and it was not in alignment. So I had to make a decision. Was I going to actually pursue it, or was I just going to say, you know what, thank you so much, but that is not what the direction I want to go into. And I don't want to be remembered through this opportunity because it's not going to do anything but really put myself into a place where I am not doing things on purpose. Okay. We want to stand out in our industries. Okay. And we want to lead with purpose and authenticity. This is what personal branding is. It's not about being famous. All right. It's not about having 1,001 followers. And it's not about just you pretending. Okay. What it is about is you being found for the right reasons. for the right reasons. It's not about, again, pretending, it's about positioning. And I'm not just saying position, I'm talking about positioning powerfully in which the lane that you occupy. And so, and it's boldly owning what makes you different. What makes you different? I know, okay, that I'm very different from a lot of people. At first, I was in my feelings a little bit because, because I'm different, people took me in as, oh, what are you doing? Why are you just not, sticking to the program that we are on? So, I've had people say things to me. All right. I've had people actually turn their backs on me. I've had people who have stopped talking to me. I've had people who just decided that because what I'm speaking about, they think it's in the vein. And I'm like, no, this is strategy. Okay. Because I started a business, and I started a business after I retired from serving 3 decades in the Air Force. And so one of the ways that I knew that I can get after building and growing, scaling my business was to share things about me, only my story. Okay. I'm not looking at anybody else and what they're doing. All right. I am literally taking my stories of my life, sharing it with others to inspire, to motivate, to encourage other people, and especially women professionals and women veterans, to really think about how you can do it for yourself in your own unique way. I'm working so hard to make my brands authentic, and the clarity is happening. Absolutely. Congratulations, Queen. Yes, that's what it's all about. We need clarity because clarity is power. Once we understand, and my message has been like up and down, like the first couple of years, I was kind of like, I'm not quite sure of what this message is. But now I absolutely know. And yes, things are happening that are much different than they were when I started out, in a good way. So, again, what makes you different? What makes you unique? Your personal brand is your reputation, and it is your direction. It helps you to stay on your own journey. And believe me, it could be daunting because some people are like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and start my business, or I want to pursue a position in my career, and it doesn't look right. It doesn't sound right. And then, they go home. And I know there's a little bit of like, well, when I am in a space, I act just a little bit different than out of the space. But I have learned over the years that the more that I'm in alignment with who I am all day, every day, it just helps me. All right. I don't have to think about it. So it's how you want the world to perceive you. It's how you want to be perceived. It's with strategy. This is not a mistake. Okay. We have to have strategy for the things that we want. This is not haphazard. We're just not doing stuff. Okay. Sometimes the thing, people were like, well, what are you doing today? I get that a lot. Yeah. What are you doing today? What are you working on? I'm working on a whole lot of different things, but they're just not any old things. I understand the metrics. I understand the steps. I understand that there is a kind of a consistent rotation of tasks that I need to do, so that way people will get to know me even better. And I know then I can ask for the right things. All right. So we have to make sure that we are building a personal brand that is unique for us. And without a personal brand, I'm going to be bold enough to say this, you're invisible in a noisy world. It is very noisy out here in these social media streets. Most of the times I can't keep up. People are putting out information and I try my best, but when you're building something, either in your career or in your business, there are certain things that you have to continue to focus on and not get caught up from everything that's going on. And so how do you stay steady in the seat? It's taken you years to get this far. I am all in now. Yes, That's how we have to look at this. Do you want to go back and look at, times where you just said, I'm just going to give up? If I had given up in my military career, I wouldn't have, gotten the satisfaction that I wanted out of that. I chose to serve for 30 years. Then I decided and chose to start a business at the age of 50. All these things are possible. Anything that we want is possible. We just have to have strategy. Can't be haphazardly doing things, right? Hey, Queen, how you doing? Good morning. Good morning. My sister in arms and my accountability partner. How you doing? So glad that you could be with us live this morning, Queen. You never expect people to keep up with you. You just keep on going. Absolutely. And I also learned this is a different journey for me. When I had my journey in the military, I definitely had a core group of people that I would reach out to, and they would reach out to me, and they would check in on me, and I would check in on them. It was like, okay, where are you at? What's happening? What's going on? And you could bounce ideas. But over the years since I retired, I'm like, those same people can't go where I'm going. Okay. I am moving into the woman that I want to become. And with that, you can't take everybody with you. All right. And personal branding, again, is where people kind of go, oh, you're just all about yourself and this and that. I'm like, no, I'm staying relevant. I'm staying relevant in a world where it is by far so oversaturated. All right. So you have to figure out what is different and unique to you. What is your unique value proposition? Thank you, Queen. I just got up today, and when you feel good, okay, you need to match that up with how you looking. And I feel great. I feel slay amazing. So I was like, let me just get all dolled up this morning for y'all and come here on the show. Okay. So the 3 questions every personal brand must answer. Let's go through each of these, and we'll kind of get through our conversation this morning. First of all, what is your purpose? What is your purpose? I know sometimes this could be very hard for us to think about, because when I was in the military, my purpose was to train, develop myself and the other people that I was assigned to go to war. I mean, like that's bottom line. All right, to go to war. Um, so we were always prepping, we were always exercising, we were always, making sure that we go through the checklist and so forth, right? And that was the end of the day. And it did give me a sense of purpose. I was waking up every day and I knew exactly what we were supposed to be doing. All right. Now there's all the variables kind of been thrown into that. But I got to the point where I really knew my job. I really knew the whole entire system of how you can succeed in that environment. But when you transition to a new career or you transition into a new business, you got to make sure that you understand what is your purpose. All right. And so what do you stand for? What is the deeper mission behind your work? Again, all right, I've had several stories of women that I have worked with, and each woman is different, and they're at different stages of their life. And most recently, I was brought in on a team where we're going to help a woman become a congresswoman, if you will, right? She is looking for a seat in Congress. And for me, it is the ultimate what do you call that? Like, I feel like this is it. Like, this is where I needed to be. Like, this is what I can offer for her to amplify her voice, to stand in her leadership role, to be a community advocate. And how can we continue to have this feeling, right? We have to understand what's the mission behind the work that we do. Personal branding is really having deep thoughts. We're not being superficial. We're not hiding behind the business. We're not hiding behind other people. All right. It is us. So my purpose is really about the fire in my belly. What is the fire in your belly? What is going to keep you showing up? And when no one's clapping, how are you going to put yourself out there? I know not a lot of people are not clapping at me, okay? And I'm way okay with that. People are just looking. People will look on the sidelines all day. They kind of check you out and you're not saying anything, and that's just fine. All right? But I understand that when I have gotten into this wavelength, all right, where my personal brand is grounded in my purpose, I'm not just being out here doing the stuff. I am making impact. And impact to me is one of those things that a lot of people cannot do. All right. People talk a lot of great stuff, but can they follow through with that? More than likely, they're having troubles and difficulties and struggles. Not us, okay? Because we understand what this is all about. When all things align, you clap for yourself. Absolutely. Because you know what? Again, not everybody's going to understand what you're doing. They may catch up. It may be years from now, right? But when you continue on this journey, you really need to ask yourself, if someone looked at my personal brand right now, could they clearly tell what I care about and why it matters? Can they clearly tell what I care about and why it matters? All right. So that is about what is your purpose? The next question is, what is your promise? Again, I have gotten a lot of emails. I have gotten a lot of text messages. I sometimes see like there's this very what are you, a common theme. Everybody's offering something. All right. So I have gone to webinars. I have invested in, some coaching. I have invested in self-development, and not everyone delivers on their promise. They will talk a great game. They will say, hey, this is what you're going to leave with. Here are the takeaways and so forth. But at the end of the day, I already knew about it, and it did not add value for where I'm going because they didn't bring their A game. They didn't actually deliver. And so we have to make sure that we understand, what our promise is. And that means what transformation or result can people count out from you? What transformation or result can people count on from you? That is the question when it comes to what is your promise. Because your promise needs to be consistent, okay? It's a consistent value that you deliver. It's the experience, it's the outcomes, it's the energy that follows you into every room, whether that's in the workplace, whether that's on Zoom or on StreamYard, as I'm on right now, or through a podcast, however means of vehicles that you communicate and interact with your ideal clients, your ideal audience. All right. So your promise has to be consistent and the value that you bring. All right. So you need to really ask yourself, what are people thanking you for? All right. What do they thank you for? And I know a lot of my clients thank me for helping them to find their voice, helping them to gain the clarity, helping them to, have the confidence that they need to go after whatever it is. What result do you deliver that makes you the go-to in your lane? What is it? All right. So if you have something that you want to share with everybody here, please put that into the comments. But you really need to ask yourself, what are people thanking you for? And that is probably where you need to spend more of your energy on and less on the other things that are distracting us. Okay. And then the last question is, what is your presence? What is your presence? Again, how are you showing up? And what's the vibe? What's the voice? And what is the visibility? So, when I'm out and about, like today, this is my outfit. Again, it is a dress. And it is pink and it is yellow. Every day I wear something pink, but it's not just the color. It is the style. It is the energy. I have different pieces that I wear on certain days. I have certain pieces when I wear for different in places that I go. It's all intentional. It's all on purpose. But what I sometimes get from other women in particularly, which is, a lot of questions and comments. All right. So most of the time it's great. Okay. Most of the time it's like, oh, you look lovely. Oh, you look really nice. Oh, that's a really great suit or whatnot. But sometimes on occasion, I get this. I was gonna wear this certain suit, or I've had the same outfit and I wasn't gonna wear it, and I could have done this, and oh my goodness, I have a necklace similar to that. I mean, it's a whole thing of just, and for me, the bottom line is an excuse, all right, to count us out. It is never in the vein of, you know what, I know I should have worn or done something differently, but I decided not to really count on myself. So, presence for me is magnetism, and you want it in a good way. It's how you're perceived visually when you are walking into a space. What are you saying? Okay. And in the energy, I've had people wearing bad outfits. All right. Some really like, I'm like staring at them as they're walking in, but their attitude is horrible. It is absolutely horrible, does not match because they didn't align their energy with the outfit. And it's not about being loud. I really don't say anything when I go into the spaces that I go into. It's all about being aligned. When your message, when your style and your story are cohesive, people can't help but take notice. So when people ask me again, how do you get these opportunities? You're out speaking here, you're getting clients there and whatnot. I have decided that I am going to stay true to myself and the right people will come. All right. I am not pulling any information out of anybody. I show up for myself. I do things that can put myself out there just a little bit. And when people see me, they know that my presence is telling the same story as my words. All right. I use SLAY as the grounding philosophy, if you will. And in my mind, is how you do anything is how you do everything. All right. So if I say I'm slaying it, all right, in my mind, I have to match whatever I'm saying. So, um, understanding that you're showing up in a way that reflects the personal brand that you want to be known for. This is legacy building. All right. I put that out there on my LinkedIn post. We are building legacies each and every day. How are you building your legacy for what you want to stand for? So we went through these three questions again, right? What is your purpose? All right. Number one, what is your promise? And what is your presence? These are three questions every personal brand must answer. If you're having struggles with that, that's when you need to do a little bit of homework. All right. And fortunately for y'all, I am your guide. I am the leader in this new journey, if you will, of adding a personal branding as a tool, so that way you can progress further either in your career or in your business, or if you just want to get more out of life. And so tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am offering a free virtual personal brand masterclass. All right. So I will be putting the link into the comments when we're done. But the title of this personal brand masterclass is Pivot and Prosper. Because I don't believe that when you pivot, that things just need to fall out, okay, fall out the bottom. That's not really what I'm speaking to. When we are pivoting, we use our personal brand to open up new doors of opportunities so that way we can prosper. But there are things that we need to be doing intentionally. And I'm going to share a little bit about my journey. I'm going to share about the I Slay framework that I'm using in the Brand Boldly program that I offer, that I have had several clients go through here recently, and they're taken off, all right, because they now understand what this tool can do for them. So if this has hit home for you and you're ready to go from being foggy, okay, because clarity is power, like I said, to being fierce, all right, this masterclass is where we're going to level up for reals, okay? And so you want to be in the space tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, I'll put the link into the comments, because we weren't meant to blend in. I keep saying that over and over again, and I will continue to say that. We are not meant to blend in. We're meant to slay in our own lane, whatever that is, with clarity, with confidence, and with conviction, right? We understand really, and we believe in what we're doing, and others will start believing what we're doing. So if you're tired of being overlooked, misunderstood, or underbooked, okay, because in my world, everyone that I help, we are hashtag booked and busy, okay, and not just doing random things that really matter, because we're not about working harder. I'm not working hard like I did when I was in the military. Now I'm working at a pace where I know things are picking up, but it is not with a lot of strain and stress. All right. So it's about getting very clear on your message, because in 2025 and now beyond, clarity is power, clarity is queen. Okay. In our world, clarity is queen. And we got to build a brand that works while we are sleeping, because that's what we can do. All right. So thank you so much for being here with me live and listening in. Leslie, Ernestine, Tish, Chevy. Thank you so much for being here with me live. And those that come back for the replay, go ahead and put in hashtag replay. Again, I will put the link to the registration for the Pivot and Prosper masterclass. And it is a virtual masterclass. And I come with different type of energy when I'm in a masterclass. So you absolutely want to be in this space, because I do want to support and help and guide others who are looking to do the same thing. Thank you so much, Madame, and thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Rob, for being here. My queen, my sister in arms. Thank you so much for being here with us live this morning. I hope you're doing well, and happy Easter to you. Okay, y'all. So we will see you back tomorrow, or we will see you back at the Slay to Success Talk Show this Sunday, or we'll see you back on Tuesday of next week at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So keep on slaying until you can't slay no more. And I will see you all very soon. Take care. Love y'all. Bye-bye.